What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. And right now, we're going to be tackling the best elite tight ends to have day one of Madden 23 Ultimate Team. Looking at this list right now, I know a lot of you guys were like me initially. I was like, yo, Mark Andrews, I know he's pretty good, but I always thought Travis Kelce would still retain that #1 type thing, and then it would be George Kittle, and then it'll be Mark Andrews, but I'm not throwing no shade on the Ravens. Mark Andrews is a serious tight end. Obviously, he helps a lot in that whole Lamar Jackson run-around package because he's great at blocking and he can catch the ball in tight windows. So that works for me. I have no issue with it. I was just pretty much shocked that it went down like this. So we're going to go ahead and break down the reasoning behind why everybody should have a specific tight end day one of Madden 23 Ultimate Team. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. 83 speed. For a tight end to start the year is very good, all right? What I also like is the fact that he already has an 81 run block. That is so important because regardless of what you guys think and how, prolific we think the passing game is going to be, the run game is equally as important. And if you guys read the Gridiron notes, I spoke about this already, right? The way that they're going to have everything set up as far as the pulling guards and stuff like that, they've already enhanced the line. They've literally enhanced the line because of a lot of feedback with the beta and how fast the pass rush was. So with that being the case, you're going to have a lot to deal with as far as blocking on the offensive side of the ball. So he's solid. And also he's a vertical threat. And if they do it anything like they did it in Madden 20, he'll run past people just because of his archetype. But I'm going to lab that first of all because those archetypes really do matter in the game. I'll see. They switched it up for 22. That's no longer a glitch where the guy's on the streak and he just runs by people because of his rating and archetypes. But I'll definitely let you guys know because that was something that I discovered in Madden 20. So overall, this is a great player. 88 spec catch is really, really good. He's 6'5", big body. He definitely can work for you. I have no problem with this guy being your starting tight end at launch. All right? But again, I'm going to recommend other cards as we go along. Travis Kelce, way too slow. Run block, way too low. Although it may work for your theme team, I do not recommend this card based on the run blocking and his speed because he's going to get thrown out of the way by a corner. We all know how this works. There's going to be a meta defense and certain players are going to get manhandled and there's nothing you can do about it. And we have to figure out ways to counteract that. So that is a very important feature of what we're trying to build with our team day one. So I would not recommend this card because of that low run block and that speed. George Kittle always is clutch. Highly recommend any of his cards over the last 3 years. They give him great run block and that's great speed to start at the tight end position. The only thing I do not like is his archetype. It makes it very difficult to put the abilities that I like to put at the tight end position, and that causes a conflict for me because I'm like, yo, what in the F? What am I supposed to do here? And, that's realistically why I'm probably not going to use him, but he is a very, very good card at launch. Regardless of that 86 overall speed, that blocking and that speed, if you're not looking to do a lot of stuff with him and maybe just send him on drag routes and like basic stuff, and you're not really focused on abilities, he would work for you. But I'm looking to give my tight end an ability at launch, and that archetype may not give it to me at the lowest possible AP. And as you guys know, those ability points are very, very important at launch because you got to spread it out as much as you can to give your players specific, resources to be good on the game. Listen, if you don't give your players abilities, they don't have brains. And EA has intentionally done that. So we have to know that that's what's coming. And we have to be able to deal with that. So I'm letting you guys know the archetype is the only problem, but his card overall is very good. All right, moving right along. Kyle, dig out your girl's pits. I absolutely hate that run block, but he's 6'6" and 84 speed. So I got to put him on the outside as a wide receiver. Like, bro, you got to understand, I'm coming out to moss you. Now, look, the reason that I like the run block for Andrews is because I would keep him at tight end. Kyle Pitts, on a lot of teams that you see him on, is probably going to be split out wide at wide receiver because height matters even more. Just think back to Madden 15 if you guys play that. EA Sports is saying that height is going to be a determining factor with the catch animations, which means Kyle Pitts is going to be dominant. He has the vertical threat archetype. He's ready to go. So my wide receivers, I'm not really worried about their run block, so he may play wide receiver for me, which is why I'm not concerned with that overall rating. All right, but I love the speed. I love everything else about him. If you get this card, put him in at wide receiver. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on, another guy that's 6'6", and has low run block but great speed. If I wanted to, I could get him and also get Kyle Dig Out Your Girls Pits, split them both out wide at 6'6", and have a field day, both vertical threats. I just have to see how the game plays at launch before we go. But leaving these players at the natural tight end position with that run block is going to amount to immediate sheds and you getting hit in the backfield. But if you split them out wide, depending on how you run your offense, they can be nightmares for corners because they're so tall at launch. Moving right along, Dallas Goedert, okay? Speed is very, very low. Run block is not something you want to look at. Overall, I don't think that this card should start for anybody's team at launch. If it's an Eagles theme team, put him in as a backup and go from there. Also, guys, remember, with the headliner program, you do have Parham. Donald Parham Jr., he's 6'8". He got an 85 speed. So there's a lot of other tight ends that's going to be able to suitably be in your lineup at launch that you may want to take a look at before you go with these elites, other than the top ones that I showed you. But this guy I wouldn't play at launch. Moving right along, Mike Gesicki. This dude is a monster. I don't like that his spec catch is that low and he has low run block, but he was a mossing monster for me in Madden 22. We have to wait to see how it works, but he's definitely not a starting tight end for any team, including a Miami Dolphins theme team. I would steer clear of that just to make sure everything is okay. All right, so stay away from that one. Dalton Schultz. This is really kind of a weird card because I don't like his archetype. On a Dallas Cowboy theme team, he's definitely not going to be your starter. You're going to have to probably put him in as a backup and just use the team chemistry. But they gave him a round, like he got like a suitable card. You know what I'm saying? Because his run block is almost at the 70. He's at a 76 speed. He's still not suitable enough, but I think if he plays well early, he'll get a faster upgrade. But right now at launch, he is not recommended. All right, so I would steer clear of that. Moving right along, Logan Thomas is a beast. I don't like his run block. I don't like his speed. But if you throw it up in the air to him, he's probably going to catch it. Does that mean that you start him? I wouldn't. But he's a big boy. We're going to have to watch him. When you're in that 78 speed range, it's very difficult for me to recommend him because I want to give you guys the best players so that you make people rage. And it's hard to do that if, you know what I'm saying, like certain players don't do what they're supposed to do. Because, speed-wise, different things like that. I got to probably take a look at, like I said, the way the game plays at launch to see if we can squeeze him in our tight end offense. But he's a big boy. I just would not start him at launch. All right. And then finally rounded it out. CJ Uzomah. Was it Uzomah? I think Umama. Whatever it is, bro. Definitely not a good card to use. All right. And now he's a Jet. Look, dude, listen. His life just went to crap in like 2 hours, dude. I'm going to tell you this right now. I would not use him. I would avoid him. If you are going to utilize a Jets theme team, first of all, you disgust me. Second of all, I don't think it's smart. But either way, it doesn't matter. He played for other teams, I believe, so you probably could use him on those teams. Those are the top elite tight ends. Like I said, I would recommend Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, and Andrews. Those are my top 3 picks. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.